What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Contrarian. Today I'll be taking a little stroll through Michael Burry's portfolio. It's been a couple months since he released a quarterly statement in terms of his updated positions, but today I'm just going to walk through his portfolio, take a look at some of the winning stocks that Burry's had the last couple of quarters, and then also some of the ones that have not done as well as maybe he was hoping, or just his positions that are down, but generally his portfolio is up pretty significantly in the first half of 2023. That's pretty much in line with the stock market generally, which is up pretty significantly so far this year. But taking a look at Michael Burry's portfolio, it's pretty significant to see just how many bank-related stocks, financial-related stocks he recently bought on the back of the Fed stepping in, backing a lot of these banks, and also Chinese stocks. That's probably the two main themes of his portfolio is Chinese stocks, which are two of his top 5 largest holdings, and then bank stocks as well. And as usual, it tends to be maybe stocks and companies that aren't as well known in these two areas. Starting right off the top, 10.1% of his portfolio and a new holding in the first quarter of 2023 is New York Community Bank Corp. And that is up about 54% as of now. So that is doing very well, his largest position. Now, his number 2 position is a Chinese stock, JD.com. It's down about 20% since he bought it in the first quarter of 2023. It's 8.8% of his portfolio. So JD.com has not done maybe as well as Burry would have hoped. But moving down to Alibaba, which is his third largest holding, also 8.8% of his portfolio. Alibaba is up 14%. So that's doing pretty good for Michael Burry. And then uncommon stock is Signet Jewelers Limited, up about 8.5%. This was a new holding for him as well in the first quarter of this year. Capital One Financial Corp, up about 12%, and it's about 7.5% of his portfolio. Another bank-related stock, and yes, another new position for him. He really added heavily to banking and financial-related stocks on the back of the banking crisis and the big sell-off that these stocks had as a result of that. And then Cigna Group, a health and medical insurance related stock and company, it's about where he bought it, so hasn't really gone much of anywhere. Same thing with Zoom, which is kind of an unusual stock to see in Michael Burry's portfolio. Zoom maybe tends to be a more growth and not as much of a value play, but apparently Burry thought that it came down enough from its all-time highs. Zoom was definitely kind of a meme stock in 2020 and 2021, so it's definitely come down from its all-time highs, but Michael Burry did add to it. It hasn't really gone anywhere. Liberty Latin America Limited, it's down about 5%. It's a satellite telecommunication company, and down a little bit. A new position for Burry in 2023. Another banking stock, Western Alliance Bank Corp, down about 15% for Michael Burry. 5.6% of his portfolio, so down a decent amount. And then Sibanye-Stillwater is actually a gold and platinum palladium mining stock. It's actually kind of based fairly close by to where I live here in Montana. They have their largest platinum palladium mine. So Sibanye-Stillwater, definitely kind of interesting to see Burry adding that to his portfolio just early this year. He's tended to avoid maybe gold, silver, precious metals, but we do see Michael Burry dabbling a little bit in that area with Sibanye-Stillwater, which is down about 20% since he bought it, so not helping his portfolio out, and it's about 5.3% of his portfolio. Coherent Corp, an analytical laboratory and instrument manufacturing stock, is up about 36%. 5.1% of his portfolio, so that's definitely helping him out. And then he did sell a little bit of it in the first quarter, so trimmed a little bit of that. Wells Fargo, he added that in the first quarter. It's up about 6%, 4.9% of his portfolio. So Wells Fargo doing pretty good for him. Cabo Oil and Gas Corporation, it's saying it's about 0% for him, not really going much of anywhere. 2.9% of his portfolio. Now, Geo Group, it's definitely a position Burry's held for a while. It's a prison incarceration related real estate stock, actually. So there is some controversy that comes with Geo Group and Core Civic as well, which was a holding of his that similarly dealt with real estate in the area of prisons and incarceration. So Burry has held that for quite some time. He's sold a little bit of in the last quarter. It hasn't really gone much of anywhere recently for Burry. NOV Inc. in oil and gas, field machinery, and equipment manufacturing stock, down about 7%, about 2.5% of his portfolio. Another energy stock, Devon Energy Corporation, down about 5%. Again, a new holding for him. So apparently Burry's still buying into energy stocks right now, or at least earlier this year. PacWest Bancorp, down about 58% from where he bought it. So not helping Burry out there. About 2% of his portfolio. Another banking stock, Huntington Bank shares, down about 12% since he bought it. 1.9% of his portfolio, so not really helping him out. Now one of his best performing stocks in the last quarter is the Real Real Incorporated, an electronic shipping stock. I'd never heard of this until I saw this in Michael Burry's portfolio. So that does show you how he's definitely looking for your out of the ballpark kind of long shot stocks sometimes. But up about 90% for Michael Burry from where he bought it. So doing quite well with the Real Real. Ovintiv, a crude petroleum and natural gas extraction stock, up about 5% for Burry. First Republic Bank, unfortunately, this is down about 97% for Michael Burry. So this is maybe his biggest losing pick, but it's only about 0.5% of his portfolio. That's maybe his one losing stock for this quarter. And then yeah, he did sell a decent amount of other positions as well, but these are mainly his new positions and how they've performed kind of in the last quarter, last 4 or 5 months, 2023. So he has some winners, some losers. His main themes tend to be financial related stocks, energy, some maybe more growth stocks actually that have come down pretty dramatically from their all-time highs. So maybe Burry's trying to play that a little bit in terms of seeing what kind of speculation might return to these growth stocks. That might be Zoom that I'm primarily referring to there. He does have one precious metals refining, mining stock, so that's kind of interesting to see him going there as well. And then Chinese stocks as well. Kind of his largest positions are Chinese stocks and financial banking related stocks. So yeah, we will really need to wait and see where these go. Obviously, he's betting that China continues to have a maybe strong economic bounce and recovery out of all the COVID craziness that they had, all the crazy lockdowns, everything like that. Maybe he's pricing that in, seeing how far JD.com and Alibaba and other Chinese stocks have come down from their all-time highs. Just they could bounce easily 100% from there and still not be close to where they were at a certain point. So, that could be a lot of what Michael Burry is seeing out there is just stocks that come down dramatically from all-time highs. They could rally pretty significantly and still not come close to where they were before. But yeah, we will really need to wait and see where Burry's portfolio goes in the coming quarter. That'll be pretty cool to see what he buys, what he sells, kind of what his thoughts are for the coming second half of 2023. So we will really need to wait and see what happens with all of that. But if you liked this video, just consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel. I hope to see all of you again at some point.